We are here today with Chris Kelly, award-winning realtor. And Chris, your office is in Gresham, correct?
It is.
So we were just talking about the fact that, you're not locked into that market, that you actually have realtors working with you all over the Portland area. Would you tell me a little bit about your team?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, yes, we have a team. There's 7 of us that sell together. So, I've had a couple iterations of teams over the years, and this team's been with me for 12+ years. So it's been a good
solid.
situation.
That's solid.
And we're all over Portland. My own book of business, as I said, I do business relationally. So, you refer me to your friend who lives in Southwest Portland, who refers me to their cousin that lives in Sherwood, who refers me to Gresham. And you can see over 30 years, my database, my client base is literally all over the Tri-County area.
Right.
So one of my team members lives in Tigard and works over here primarily on the west side, and so we're pretty well versed all over, and that's different than how most of our business works. Realtors tend to work very geographically tight geographic area.
It's tough to get to know a market this size because the Portland Metro covers a huge area. I mean, it is literally huge. So it's great that you have people that live in those different parts of town so that you can serve people and really know what those markets are doing.
Well, and if it's outside of my jurisdiction, so to speak, or outside of my expertise more specifically, I can get with one of them and we just collaborate on it and talk about it together. So, doing business relationally kind of forces a larger geographic area over time, and we've leaned into that intentionally. So
absolutely. Now, speaking of markets, tell me what the market conditions are right now. A lot of people are saying there was a huge seller's market for a while. Things seem to be shifting a little bit more towards a buyer's market, but I know that depends geographically on where you're at. Where do you see the market in your special market out in East County right now?
Well, I would also say that it depends on price strata.
Yes.
Right. So, appreciation, if I say, well, the market's appreciated X%, that's a Tri-County statement.
Right.
But, $1.25 million to $1.5 million in East County may not have appreciated at all in the last year.
Right.
So it really does depend on a little bit more specificity. There's a third less transactions. I mean, to really not get into the weeds on data, there's a third less transactions that's gone on in the market in the last year.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of people that have really great interest rates that aren't compelled to move to release that interest rate for something that's more than double.
Right.
There will be a threshold at some point when interest rates come to a place where those folks will say, yeah, okay, we're ready to move. So more of those people will enter the marketplace.
Absolutely.
But there's just less transactions going on. There's been less inventory. Inventory numbers have crept up a little bit, but we're still sub 3 months of inventory in the marketplace. And historically, that is very much a seller's market. And it's been that way for 8, 9, 10 years.
Absolutely. Now, in a seller's market, you typically see multiple offers. Are you seeing multiple offers in the market right now?
Not in mass. In 10 transactions, it might be 1.
Right.
Or 2. And again, depends on what it is and where it is.
The price range, like the first-time home buyers, and I think the thing that's really important is if the home is priced really well and priced fairly, you probably have a much higher likelihood of seeing the multiple offer situation.
I say this to people all the time. Houses that are 8s, 9s, and 10s on a 10 scale, they sell relatively quickly, and they sell for good money no matter what. Those sold during the recession.
Right.
The craziness that we just had, that was 2021, 2022, so on, the 3s through 10s all sold like they were 9s and 10s.
Right.
So when people say, oh, the market died, what happened is the 7s and below stopped selling.
Yes.
That's what happened.
Right.
And by the way, that's normal. So this return to normal feels odd when you're used to everything just selling, and usually with multiples. Now we're back to some of them do. The ones that sell with multiples are 8s and 9s and 10s.
Absolutely. And it's similar with interest rates as well, because we were in a incredibly low interest rate environment, abnormally low, for so many years, that now when rates are up around, in the 7s or even 8s in some cases, people are like, oh my God, the rates are so high. It's like, well, not really if you look at the last 60 years. However, we are hopeful, and the market conditions are saying that rates will come down eventually, but kind of depends on where the Fed sees things and when they stop raising and start lowering again.
Well, there's zero question in my mind of whether this is going to happen. It's the horizon, the time horizon is the question. Is it going to happen in the next 8 months? Is it going to happen in 2 years? I mean, that's where the variables get to kick in, but it's going to happen because you can go into history and know that it's going to happen.
Yes.
I mean, anybody can Google how this goes and spend an hour and know that likely this is how it's going to go.
Well, I think we can predict the future by looking at history. And if you look at history, it's going to repeat itself, and we're going to see things come down again.
How it is.
Chris, thank you so much for being here with me
I'm glad to
today.
be here.
We have lots more to talk about.
Good.
All right. Thank you.
All right.